with you. I'll take my cutter back. Hello out there in internet land. This is the F1 chat. This is the first proper episode of the 2022 season. We're going to be discussing the pre-season pre-testing. I think that's what it's called. And discuss the liveries and some other stuff. Introducing to my left is a man who knows all about porpoising. It's JB. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I wasn't expecting that intro. That's very well done.
Thank you.
I know all about porpoising and whale catching. That's another story for another time.
It's a pity Shogo's not here. He knows about whale harpooning. Being Japanese and all.
So do I.
And sitting to my right, he's not actually sitting behind me anymore. We've moved him up in the world.
I've gone up a rank.
His missus knows that he doesn't porpoise. He longhorns. Hello, Longhorn. How are you?
I'm good. I wasn't expecting that one either. That's good.
I spent all day at work trying to come up with this stuff. I could have come up with anything else. Here we are. It is pre-season testing because we've got to have a pre-season test and a pre-season test. It's looking interesting so far, eh?
You know, considering this one was supposed to be a secret and like everyone was there with cameras, we've seen like literal highlight packages and like close-up HD photos of the cars. Like this was supposed to be a secret test. I've seen more of this secret test than I do on most practice sessions. So well done, Formula One. You fucking played yourself.
Secret, not so secret test, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like something out of a Get Smart episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dated, isn't it? It's a dated reference. Right, so we're going to jump into some news items first before we get into the fun stuff. So the first one, which was breaking news when I got the photo. Singapore Grand Prix is renewed until 2028.
Yes.
Nice.
I kind of don't really give a shit, to be honest. I'm
been
not
there
a fan
twice.
of the track.
I just want to go.
It's
I
great.
just wanna see
Longhorn
it.
will go.
Yeah, all right, let's
It's
do it.
brilliant.
I'm keen.
Love Singapore and I love that night race.
Yeah, I've heard
It's-
awesome things.
It's the second, I mean, it's Melbourne and then it's like Singapore. So like,
Yeah, it's the next.
you get most of the Aussies will go over.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
probably the easiest one to get to for us, other than Australia.
Other than
really,
Melbourne,
isn't
yeah.
it?
No one really wants to get to Melbourne there.
Well, they've changed the track.
I'd still rather go to Singapore.
Sorry, I've got a spin off here on to Melbourne. It's not up there. I didn't put it in the news items. But I watched the video where, because the Australian Grand Prix Association has been putting up videos highlighting the changes they've been making to Albert Park. And on one video, they've got Mark Scaife, who was like one of the people working on the track, along with Michael Massey,
Oh, good.
before he got the boot.
He's going to oversee a lot of that race now, isn't he?
And Mark Scaife's like, oh, we worked in conjunction with FIA, with Liberty Media, with Michael Massey, with the drivers, particularly Daniel Ricciardo, and we worked with Tilke. As soon as he said Tilke, I've gone, oh, fuck my life.
Yeah, but it's
Really?
it's weird he worked with Tilke because they're actually making the track better, not worse. So I don't know what Tilke has to bring to it.
Well, I put up a comment going, it was going all right until you said Tilke. Herman Tilke, the man who just makes a track with a protractor, a compass, a straight, and a hairpin.
Yeah. None of those are which involved in the Albert Park track.
Yeah,
because
so what's he involved with?
it's already been made.
Yeah.
We're improving an existing track which doesn't need Tilke's help.
And so I put that comment up, and the Australian Formula One, Australian Grand Prix Association replied with, who is Herman Tilke?
Let me highlight your first problem. Problem number one with that statement. Oh dear.
And I've commented back on, well, if you go and watch the video that you posted, you'll see at this certain point, Mark Scaife talks about Tilker. I think you need to go watch your own video before you post it. Never heard back.
That's what happens when you get the interns on the fucking YouTube channel. Same with Fox Motorsport. They do the same thing.
It's probably the same guy.
It's probably the same dude.
Daniel Ricciardo's going to lose his seat at the end of the 2021 season. Fuck off. Right, so Singapore's back until 2028.
Sweet.
Bahrain is on the calendar until 2036.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They got too much oil money.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Singapore's like, we can afford to 2028. Bahrain's just like, 2036, let's go.
More!
Yeah, more.
We
I
have
bet you they're probably like, just put us to 2136. And Formula One's gone like, look, we're going to have to cap it somewhere.
they're looking at their oil tanks in the background. 2036. You aren't going renewable that quickly. We've got way more where this came from.
How long would you like to renew the contract? Yes.
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 Money.
$2.99. So Bahrain is on the calendar until 2036.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I love that track. It's good.
You like it?
US Grand Prix is renewed until 2026. So US could only renew COTA until 2026.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
It's like
depending if they start World War III with Russia this week or not, it might be shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not sure.
We're not sure.
But I suppose they've got, what, 2 other races?
They got Miami and possibly Vegas.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
they should go back to Indianapolis.
No. The last trip,
Not.
Formula One's last trip to Indianapolis didn't exactly end well, did
Well,
it?
just take out the infield bit. You don't need that. Just drive around in a circle a billion times. It's
I'm
not that
I'm
hard.
sure Pirelli had shit themselves.
Are they going to do a street circuit for Vegas?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
It's a car park, isn't
Yeah.
it? No, that's Miami.
yeah,
Miami's
car park.
around the stadium car park,
Ah,
Yeah, it goes
right.
around
which
the Hard Rock
sounds
Cafe.
which sounds fucking shit, but it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah. I could see that being Vegas. It'd be like a terrible track, but it just look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At night on the strip.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
fucking yeah.
It'd be like that movie Driven.
Yes.
Remember that?
Well, they had a Vegas track back in the 80s, and it was fucking atrocious.
Yeah, I know.
Ayrton Senna won there all the time, but it was fucking terrible.
It was a war of attrition.
yeah.
It was who dares wins.
Yeah, apparently the Vegas track and the Long Beach track was fucking just abysmal. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if they're gonna do it properly, please.
Yeah. Do it right.
Yeah.
Don't get
yeah.
Tilk involved.
I was going to say, get Tilker involved. Get the Australian Formula One Commission involved. Because I don't even know who the fuck Tilker is.
That's it.
Despite their name dropping him in the fucking video. Right, so, new updates for 2022.
Sprint race updates.
So, yeah, pole position is on the Friday, and the driver who gets pole position will be statistically listed as pole position. Then there's the new point system. Oh, and pole position is for the sprint race. Whoever wins the sprint race gets pole position for the main race.
Yeah, it still decides the grid.
New points. So top 8 finishers earn championship points. 8 for first place, down to 1 for 8th place.
I feel like that's too many points already, but okay.
That's just for the sprint, isn't it? These
Yep.
are all just for sprints.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's only going to be 3 sprint races at Imola, Austria, and Brazil.
I don't think Brazil needs a sprint race, but okay.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does.
I don't think Imola needs a sprint race.
no.
either.
I think Bahrain needs a sprint
Yeah,
race.
yeah.
I think
have
Bahrain
one.
could use a sprint race. Austria definitely. And maybe, I don't know, Zandvoort?
Yeah.
Like Zandvoort, they could use a second race. I don't know.
Or Monza.
Yeah, Monza would be great for a sprint
Yeah.
race. Didn't they have a sprint race there last year?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
why
I
like
think- I think
that's why
it's-
Daniel Ricciardo started on the front row.
I think that's the races where it's out and out speed.
Yeah, speed tracks. Like
Yeah,
Imola's.
not Silverstone,
Yeah,
not Baku
Interlagos,
or Monaco or any of that shit.
No.
Just the speed tracks.
I agree.
And Belgium.
I could see that going wrong.
Yeah.
At least we'll get a Belgian Grand Prix this year. Knock on wood.
I hope so. Yep, it's confirmed for Imola, Austria, and Brazil.
Yep.
There's the point system, which is 8 points for first. Second is 7 points. yeah, like they
6,
said,
5,
all the
4,
way
2.
down to 1 for 8th
Too
place.
many, I reckon.
Too many.
Do you think that they've put this in because of the team's worrying concern of with the cap of having to make repairs for the sprint, so they're trying to make it more
Yeah,
advertising for them to
yeah, I think
want
so.
to do the racing?
Yeah, they don't want the racing to be conservative in a sprint race.
And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they want it to be racing relevant.
Yep.
You know, like championship relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, can decide.
Yeah, there's actually like, there's a good amount of points on offer for like a 4th, 3rd, 2nd finish.
Yeah.
It's incentive for
they're going
the drivers to push. Yeah.
They're going to play a part in the
Yeah.
end, yeah.
Like push. You can, imagine if the only race you win all year is like a sprint race, but that's 8 points towards your championship that your rivals aren't going to get.
Well, that's enough to beat
Yeah.
Haas straight up.
Yeah.
So.
Straight up.
We'll get to them a bit later. So the only thing less well kept in Formula One than the preseason testing is Otmar Zafnauer is now the Alpine team principal, and he took BWT
With him.
with him to
We-
Alpine.
We called
Should we
that
get
like, what did we call that? Abu Dhabi? I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we called that like Jeddah last year. It was like, this is happening, like
Yeah.
almost certainly.
Yeah, just when the rumours just circulated that he could potentially be leaving, it was like, oh, he's going to Alpine.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see him leaving the sport.
No.
And
Particularly when Johnny's favourite team principal was announced as his replacement at Aston Martin, old Mike Crack.
good old Mike Crack. That guy. That guy. I hope we get to see a lot of him on the Sky broadcast. It's like joining
Get
me
to see a
now.
lot of Mike Crack on the broadcast.
Joining me now is my crack. He's just come from the Portaloo.
Oh, it's going to create so much good content throughout the year, isn't it?
You got to
That's
look.
going to give everyone the shits.
We're going to have to watch them and see if any of them like laugh when they announce his name. Ted Kravitz, I'm looking at you, buddy.
I was just coming back from talking to Mike Crack.
Yeah. Just speaking to my crack down at the garage. It's a bit echoey, but he seems very confident of a good weekend.
He can pull something out of the hat.
This may
His
continue.
team can pull out a miracle.
This may continue for most of the year.
It's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Poor guy.
But I think Otmar Zafnauer will be a good fit in.
I think he
Alpine.
was the perfect choice. Like
Yeah.
the fact that it was that obvious from
That's it.
from that early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lined up
Yeah.
just too well.
Now, this is a little bit more serious, but there was announced on Thursday evening or Friday morning, Southern Hemisphere normal person time, aka ours, that, pardon me, the Russian F1 race will not be happening this year in 2022, which is this year, because I've just said this year. I'll just say it again this year. Because of the current incursion with Ukraine or whatever's going on. We don't know what's going on properly. What are your thoughts on this, like on the Russian race being cancelled? Is it the right thing to do?
I think it's a bit early. I mean, it's the right thing to do now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
But if this insurgent ends in
Before
whatever,
yeah.
April,
Yeah.
what are the odds of reinstating it?
Mm.
I think it's off the table until Russia proves they're not a complete bunch of fucking wankers, or Putin, and
Fucking wankers or fucking vankers?
fucking vankers.
Which I think that's what the world's trying to sort out right now. Is,
Pretty much. Like
yeah.
they'll keep pulling shit off Russia until
Yeah.
Putin pulls his finger out of his ass and
Yeah.
starts being a dickhead about things.
Yeah, but China has actually turned around and said, we're backing Russia.
Yeah.
All the embargoes that the rest of the world has put on Russia, China has said, well, we're lifting them.
Yeah. We'll help
Well,
you.
that's the worst case scenario. And then does now Formula One turn around to the Shanghai Grand Prix and be like, look,
Can't go there
you
either.
can't
To
fucking...
be honest, I wouldn't be sad if we lost the Shanghai F1.
Yeah, I think they need a fucking reality check
I wouldn't be
too.
sad if we lost Sochi, and I wouldn't be sad if we lost.
Was it meant to be St. Petersburg this year, though?
It was going
No,
to be like...
no, that
next
was
year?
next year.
Oh,
Next
so
year.
Sochi again still this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Johnny said, I think it's the right call right now. unless things change drastically and
Yep.
we go back to some sort of peaceful normality.
Yeah.
Maybe you could look at having it there again. But right now, it's the right call.
Yep.
And you just got to stick by it until we see what happens. Are they looking at replacing the
Yes,
Grand Prix? Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
they might go to.
Hopefully they pull China then. This is good for us.
Yeah.
Formula One. This war's good for Formula One.
I don't know if I go that far, man.
No,
That's all right.
it's not good. What's going on?
It's not fun.
All right, so
The non-secret secret test lap times.
here we go. These are the fastest laps over the 3 days
That aren't a secret.
that aren't a secret.
Nothing was a fucking secret. So why didn't you just bring the Skyports camera out and fucking film it?
Well, F1 filmed it because they put highlight videos up.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But so Lewis Hamilton set the fastest time in the Mercedes with a 1:19.138. George Russell was nipping at his heels with a 1:19.233. And Sergio
Nice.
Perez set a 1:19.556 in the Red Bull. Now, what is interesting about these three and Max Verstappen, who comes up a little bit later, those three set their times on the soft tyre.
The C5.
Yes.
Yep.
Lando Norris was fourth with a 1:19.568. Charles Leclerc was fifth in the Ferrari on a 1:19.689. They set their times on a medium tyre.
That is extremely fucking encouraging, isn't it?
It is.
For our perspective.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Right. Actually, I'll keep going with the times, and then I'll come back to my point.
Yep.
Then Max Verstappen did a 1:19.756 on the softs. As Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin said a 1:19.824, and I think he was on the mediums as well. Then Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri was 1:19.918. I think he was on the softs. Sainz 1 minute 20.072. He was on the mediums. And Daniel Ricciardo with a 1:20.288 on the mediums. Now, a lot of comments and a lot of videos online have been sitting there saying, oh, maybe Mercedes and Red Bull are sandbagging. I disagree.
I don't think they are. Yeah.
I don't think they're sandbagging because they can't sandbag. They need to get these cars going and pushing because these are all new tech.
Yeah, this isn't a remake of an existing model. This is a new car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
completely.
I think you're right. I don't think anyone can afford a sandbag.
No.
No. Not at all.
And the cars that have been suffering the most with the porpoising effect, apparently the Mercedes has been suffering with it really bad, as has the Red Bull. And the worst ones were the Haas and particularly the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, the Alfa Romeo got literal damage from it, like suspension damage.
Yeah.
And that's the unforeseen or unprecedented side effect of a ground effect car.
Yeah, they haven't had the porpoising since the early 80s when they were using the ground effect.
Yeah. So whether they have to stiffen their suspension up or increase the ride height on the rear of the cars, I mean, there'll be a way around it, and they'll probably figure it out rather quickly.
Well, look at the two cars that have suffered the least from it. The McLarens and the Ferraris.
Mm-hmm.
And the Aston Martin.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, McLaren reckons they went away from the test and we had no problem with it.
Yeah.
And to think that that's how much speed they've got, and they're not.
Without having any trouble, these other
And
teams are
without-
having that trouble and going to have to adjust, which
Yeah,
could slow them
A
down.
lot of the teams are going to have to adjust their cars to deal with the porpoising.
And the fact that, like, Norris and Leclerc are not that far off Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. And
Already.
they're on the mediums.
Yeah.
They're on the mediums. Like, this...
Are you getting 1998 tinglies right now? I am.
I'm getting
I mean-
2000 tingly.
I mean, it's early. It's early.
It is early.
It's
and
early.
They've got a test again in 2 weeks.
We'll see what Bahrain brings.
It's promising, though,
It is
at
promising.
the start.
Mm.
It's what you want to see if you're being, confident. You feel confidence going.
It
into
just
the season.
saddens me that the Alfa Romeo and the Haas are just buckets of
So bad
shit.
again.
Probably not
Again.
as sad as fucking Gunther Steiner is. That his fucking everything he put into the 22 car, and it's a piece of shit still. We joked about it being bad, but they put every fucking resource token they had. They didn't even develop the 21 car.
Yeah.
Everything they fucking had was in this car, and they've had no fucking running, and it's porpoising like a fucking literal porpoise.
It hurts. It hurts to see,
It
doesn't it?
hurts. Gunther Steiner, please get out of Haas. I love you.
You and Mick Schumacher,
Get out of
get
there.
out.
So then that brings me to the next story. So I'm going to put up a photo of Porsche, but it was actually announced, it was probably about 2 weeks ago, that Michael Andretti has sent an application off to the FIA for Andretti Global Motorsport to join F1 in 2024.
24 was it?
24.
Oh, nice. I thought it was 26.
No. He sent it in for the end of 24, start of 25, sorry.
Beautiful. As a extra entry, so
He doesn't want to buy an existing
Yeah,
team. He wants a brand new team.
nice.
He says he's already got an engine supplier. And he's building most of the car in-house.
That's a good start.
good.
But he is going to get parts, like listed, I think it's listed parts that you're allowed to have. He's going to get limited listed parts from the same team that's the engine supplier, which he hasn't announced.
Yeah.
So it's a current engine supplier.
Everyone thinks, because he put up a photo on Twitter of him and the president of Renault.
Right.
So I think Renault are going to be supplying engines for this team. Now, the reason why I've got the photo of the Porsche up, though, is that apparently from 2026, he might be adopting Porsche engines.
Yeah, righto.
That's
so
after
Renault
the
would be
engine freeze
bridge.
ends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of Andretti joining F1?
Love it.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think it's good to get a name, a known name, back in Formula One. But I also heard a rumour that Formula One aren't looking to expand the grid,
Yeah, which I think is insane.
which is bullshit,
It's
which
crazy
that needs to change
not do
quick.
that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the
It doesn't have to be right now. It can be 2026 after the engine freeze, but I think they need to start accepting applications.
Yeah, why can't it be this one?
Well, here's
2024.
Like,
They've got everything
here's
put
my
together.
here's my question, which is, why not accept them now? Because Haas might be gone by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That'll play into their thinking. I think if they lose Haas, or Haas is a genuine fucking possibility of folding,
Mm.
yeah. But I think it should be more than just one team. Like this needs to be bigger than a 20-car grid.
Yeah,
Like, with the cost cap now coming in, it's going to be sustainable enough. The sport will be sustainable enough to have more than 20 cars on the grid.
and to have a genuine American team. I mean, I'm not saying shit on Haas, but I mean, up until Friday last week, Haas's main sponsor and their colours up until Friday last week were Uralkali, which is Russian.
They're literally driving with the Russian flag on their
So
fucking car.
So having 3 possible F1 races in America,
Yeah.
and then having an actual American F1 team on the grid, that means people are going to go to the American F1 races.
With
They've
the
got
pos-
a genuine team to back.
with the potential of bringing IndyCar drivers with them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, the rumours about who's going to be driving, I mean, Colton Herta is
Yeah.
at the top of the list.
Beast.
And,
Yeah.
see, and I forgot to put the photo up, but we'll talk about him in a sec. I think Scott McLaughlin is a good shot.
Yes. Definitely, after what just happened last
Yeah,
night.
well, that was my next thing, was Scott McLaughlin won the St. Petersburg in America.
In America.
In America.
Shit, we got to clarify
In
that.
Florida. St. Petersburg in Florida.
Florida.
IndyCar race. And, the boy's got talent.
Yeah, he can fucking drive.
Yeah.
He can drive an open wheel car. But, I mean, you know, there's a bunch of drivers over there who will power, maybe. He might be a little bit past it, but, you know, Pato Ward,
Yep.
he drives with the McLaren team.
Is it Alex Patel?
Yeah.
Yep.
He test drove the McLaren in the off-season
Mm.
in Bahrain, the young driver test.
Yeah.
I don't mean, like, I think if they want a balance of an experienced driver and Colton Herter, because, I mean, I know Colton Herter is an experienced driver in IndyCar, but if they want an experienced F1 driver, Kevin Magnussen.
Magnussen's
Yeah.
still going around. Grosjean's still there.
Yep.
Grosjean won't come back to F1
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
because his wife said you're not going back.
I don't think IndyCar's that much safer.
No.
He's at least doing ovals, but
Yeah.
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 It's
I don't
motorsport.
really want to see Grosjean back anyway. I'd rather see Magnussen out of
Yeah.
them two.
Yeah,
Or
But-
Stoffel. Bring the dessert
Hul-
back.
Hulkenberg.
my boy Stoffel.
Yeah, Hulkenberg. Giovinazzi.
Kvyat.
Yeah, Kvyat.
You know, I was scrolling through the F1 store the other day. They've still got Stoffel Van Dorn hats for like $5.
Well, because he's the test driver for Mercedes, I think.
Yeah, they've got McLaren Stoffel Van Dorn hats. I'm like, man, retro.
Okay, so I thought now might be a good time to go through the liveries. See, we had some livery reveals. So we'll start with the one that is not the same anymore.
Yeah,
So we go with the Haas. So
Colgate toothpaste.
Actually-
Yeah, it just looks like toothpaste. on
actually, I'll
wheels.
show you what the actual car looks like now.
That's way more accurate.
That is, it's porpoise to fuck.
That might actually be more reliable than what they've currently got.
What is that? Is it a Lada? Is it they call it a Lada?
It's an Igo.
Oh yeah, an
It's a
Igo.
Russian car.
It's fucking yeah. It's porpoising for an entirely different reason.
It's Nikita Mazepin's buggy. Him and his mates go buggying in it. Yes. All right, so the real car, except now it doesn't have the Colgate colours on it. And you know what? I'm going to say something really controversial here. It looks better without
Oh, it looks way better without it.
Yeah, it's
That's
what
not even controversial.
it's
That's
white and
just
black
true.
now.
it. You know what it looks like? It looks like the 2014 Sauber, but without the sex device on the front end.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just super fucking disappointed that they had this long and this much effort to put into this fucking car.
Yeah.
And not only is
And
it
they
a
come up with that.
and not only is it a shit box, but their main sponsor's pulling out, and
The livery shit.
the livery was always shit anyway,
Yeah.
even without the Russian flag down the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really disappointed in this team and this car.
Yeah.
But I know, because they've lost Uralkali, I know who they can get to sponsor the team.
Oh dear.
I know who they can get to sponsor the team because he's been talking about it. He's been talking about bringing his team into F1.
And now the fucking door is open for him, and that's the saddest thing of all.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
How much of a car can you buy for 365 quid? Rich Energy.
One Haas. It's a shit box. Or probably both the Haases, to be honest.
If it changes the livery back to what it was in 2019,
Yeah, if it
I
brings-
don't care.
If it brings us back to black and gold like John Player Special livery that they had,
Because that was their best livery.
it was great.
And now we've got the Colgate car.
Not anymore. You know what? Yeah, legitimately, the fucking door's now open for him. They need a main sponsor.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but how-
as sad as it is,
365 quid is not good. It's barely going to buy you a logo underneath the rear wing.
as sad as it is, the door's fucking open for him, and they might take it.
I will say this though, because I've actually taken to following Will Story on Twitter, just
Oof.
because it's almost as funny as that parody Gunther Steiner, right?
That's the best account.
Yesterday he put up a photo of, apparently it's his Lamborghini that's parked on the side of the street,
Oh yeah,
except he's clearly curbed the wheel because the mag is just scratched a buggery. And he's like, oh, taking the photo, and he's like, look at my car, and rah, 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 rah. And everyone's sitting there going, hey, where'd you get that photo of my car? Or, really, you this is your car? You treat it like this?
It's not his car unless you've seen him sitting in the fucking thing. Hey,
Yeah.
that's not how it works.
Someone put, Ed Sheeran wants to know why you're hanging around his house.
Sounds like something he'd do.
It's like he put up a post on Twitter where he's talking about Rich Energy F1 Chapter 2, we're coming back. And I put a comment on there, and it's got like 300 likes or something. I put down a comment going, he read it as Chapter 2, but it really was Chapter 11.
Fucking hell.
And someone replied with, yeah, that's what happens when you put 1 and 1 together.
Something he probably can't do.
Okay, so we'll have a look at the next to the bottom rung cars, the Alfa Romeo.
It's not the splotchy camo livery. They actually got a livery.
It's not invisible anymore.
I can see it on track. I mean, I couldn't see it on track. It had mechanical issues.
Valtteri did all right. He made a lap.
He made the right choice, didn't he?
He made 22 of them
Yeah, I think they did like...
in 3 days.
Yeah, that's fucking not good.
No.
And Zhou Guan Yu. That's actually how you're supposed to pronounce his
Oh,
name.
so it's not Guan Yu
Yeah,
Zhou
last
anymore.
name,
No,
last
no.
name first in China.
Yeah. So it's Zhou Guan Yu.
They weren't calling him that in F2.
No,
were
they're
calling
calling
him
him that now.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah. Well, they might not have to call him that for much longer if China gets dumped out of F1 too. But, yeah, I think he did 15 laps in it.
And 2 were red. He caused 2 red flags. Is that right? That's what I heard. There was 2 red flags.
He's
caused
not
by
better
him.
than Mazepin.
Has he
Better
though?
or worse.
Did he though? I think the Haas clocked more laps.
Yeah.
Only just.
Yeah, not by much.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but how many red flags did Mazepin do?
yeah.
Oh, it was something
See,
crazy.
there we
go. Fuck.
It was like,
So who's trying to hang themselves more at this point, Gunther Steiner or Valtteri Bottas?
ooh.
Frederick Vasseur.
Valtteri's just gone from the championship team to
Yeah.
my car's done 30 laps in 3 days, and I've driven for about half an hour.
Yeah.
Valtteri's sitting there
They
going,
lied to me.
Valtteri's like, why didn't I sign with fucking Williams?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything is better than this shit box.
He had the chance to. I was genuinely surprised he didn't.
I know. I really wish he did.
Yeah. But I actually do really like this livery.
It is actually a nice livery. They've actually gone
Right.
with the wheel cover that doesn't look like a dinner plate.
It does look like a dinner plate. It's an Italian dinner plate.
I was like sort of keen for the wheel covers to come back, but now that I've seen them,
Yeah.
they're not really
No.
as fucking good looking as I thought. They'd play around with them a bit.
Yeah. Do something with them. Hey?
It's like
Not
it's a black dinner plate
black
with a
plate.
fluoro fucking
Actually, you
inner
know
ring.
what those dinner plates look like? They look like the start of a Bond film with the iris,
Yeah,
and he shoots it and the blood starts trickling down. It looks like it's halfway through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think every time
Looks
they
pretty cool when you say it like that.
every
doesn't
time they pull up for a pit stop, someone's got to go da da da.
yeah. No, I was hoping for more imagination with the fucking wheel covers. They just look really bland. Like I mean, I know they're there for a job, but even back in 2008 when they weren't really there for any sort of real reason,
Yeah, do something. with
they
it,
looked
hey?
alright.
Give us something.
The only thing I don't like about the car is actually the Alfa Romeo logo on the side. On that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
missing
it's not the snake with the fucking
Yeah.
cross.
I'm missing that. I think they need to bring that back and ditch the 1960s psychedelic. Oh my god, I've done too many mushies writing. So it looks like it's just written by someone who's tripping balls.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't put the actual Alfa Romeo logo on that car anyway.
I like the Italian flag on the
On the rear wing.
rear wing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Quite, that's
I don't
quite
know.
cool.
Like, why couldn't Haas just do that with their Russian colours instead of all down the side and all up the front?
Because
wing?
they probably weren't thinking of fucking Vlad is nuts and he's going to fucking war.
Well, like if they had done like a more of one of their old school liveries and just put the Russian flag on the back, might
Yeah.
be a nice looking car. But
Well, they now they
it's
get
just
that
Colgate on wheels.
now they
like-
get the chance too because they're not Russian backed anymore.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, it does look better immediately without those colours on it.
It does.
So then we get to the Alpha Tauri.
Yes.
I like.
They flipped it back. They flipped it back to their 2020 livery.
I like.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm excited
It
for
looks
AlphaTauri this
it
year.
actually looks good on track,
Yeah.
but I miss the 2019 Toro Rosso colours.
They're not coming back, Phil. You gotta let it go.
But I want them back. One of the girls at work actually has a Honda that's in that blue with the silver and a couple of red bits on it. And every time I see it, I'm like, it's the 2019 Toro Rosso.
Well, Toro Rosso's gone now. They're AlphaTauri. They're a clothing brand.
Bring back Toro Rosso.
Sexy Pierre Gasly down the
Bring back Toro
catwalk.
Rosso. But yeah, no, the livery's not too shabby on the Alpha Tauri.
That looks great. Looks great. It looked great from day one.
Right. Besides the Colgate car, I've got to say I actually hate this fucking livery.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Alpine livery.
What about the one where it was fully pink?
They're actually
That one?
Yeah.
Oh!
I seen that first. So I was like, oh my god, what have they done?
they're running that for the first 2 races.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
No, they are. That's all right. The only time I saw the Alpine on track was Fernando Alonso in a fucking plume of smoke,
Trying to extinguish the fire.
trying to put the fire out
Well,
the engine
apparently
bay.
Renault has gone for an aggressive engine profile. This
Oh, it's
time.
real fucking aggressive.
Yeah, fights back.
It's on fucking
Quick
fire.
over 12 laps. That's about it.
It's so aggressive it cooks itself.
Yeah.
Might as well put a fucking rotary in it. That
But-
little chook cooker really fried that chicken.
Phil, we find ourselves again shitting on the Alpine in preseason.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But I
They've-
mean, you look at this livery with
They-
the pink on it,
Yes.
and all I could think of is Racing Point.
Yeah.
It's the racing
It
point.
is the racing point.
But I like the blue. Like the blue one's better. But
It's
but-
still just got too much pink on it.
But
Yeah.
once again, here we are shitting on the Alpine with Ocon and fucking Alonso ready to win in fucking Hungary and shit all.
if they could get the engine to work.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. You know, I'm going the other way this year. I'm not shitting on you boys. I'm pumping your fucking tyres up because you shat on me.
There you go. Confirmed Alpine are going to have the worst year now that Johnny's talking them up.
Talking you up now.
Put your money on Alpine at the bottom.
That's the Aston Martin.
This is up there with one of my favourites.
Oh,
I reckon.
Yes,
yeah, that's
they got it right
gorgeous.
this year.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
They've gone from the two-tone green to the fucking yellow stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
The
fucking brilliant.
Aston Martin GT racing colours.
Yeah, proper. I wish they'd have the Aston Martin wing where the Aramco fucking thing on the engine cover is. But aside from that,
Or where Cognizant is on the rear wing. That should be the Aston
the
Martin.
Aston
Yeah,
Martin
that should
wing.
be,
Actually,
yeah.
I think on the back of it is the Aston Martin wing. On the back of the rear wing is the Aston Martin logo from memory. I know
No,
it's a Aramco.
Ramco.
Now, you guys are missing a trick there.
Do they even have Aston Martin anyway? Oh, there.
Yeah.
For the driver to see.
Yeah, they got the logo near the front wheel
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
on
there.
the bottom.
in front of the side
See,
plate.
that should be where the Cognizant is.
Yeah.
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 Or the Aramco.
But
One of them.
all that aside, striking livery. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
it's,
it right
it's,
this year.
it's actually one of my top 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is just gorgeous.
Agreed. I think it'd be in most people's top 3, I reckon. That's how good they did.
Yes.
The McLaren.
They went with the golf livery.
Nice.
Very
it is
exciting.
very striking on track,
Yeah.
It is.
but at some point of daylight, like if when they run the Melbourne F1, that blue disappears rather quickly.
Yeah.
In
I
like
sorta-
setting, the sun setting in the afternoon, that blue disappears.
Yeah, I mean they could have gone darker, honestly, with the papaya, but like last year's papaya instead of the peach papaya. But I'm not against it. I think it looks good. It looks
no,
good enough.
it looks quite nice.
It pops out. It stands out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely pops.
And it's fast.
That's
Ish.
the main thing.
And it looks good. And we're on the upswing.
And it's got Dell computers.
I'm getting a Dell computer soon.
I've got an Acer.
I gotta stay on brand, dude. I gotta buy a fucking, and I gotta get like Dark Trace fucking antivirus, and I I got to wear like fucking sun god sunglasses.
Well, I suppose I mean, Ferrari used to use Acer computers. I did used to have a Lenovo computer. It was a shitbox. And I do run Kaspersky antivirus.
What's Santander? They're a bank.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Spanish bank.
You gonna start banking with Santander? Get in there.
Yes, get in there, Lewis.
Speaking of,
The Mercedes.
I like it.
Arrow.
The
I-
silverback.
Look, I'm happy to see the silver is back.
Yeah, it looks better than black. Any of
But-
their black liveries.
The problem is because it's a matte finish, it doesn't look like silver, it looks like grey. And that kind
Wait
of,
till you see it under lights, man. It's gonna sparkle.
you know, it's... But I do like the Petronas teal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that does work well with the
Yeah.
the
I
thing.
think they've done well. They've done well.
I like that they've kept the black sort of along the bottom and along the sides.
I actually
Yeah.
really like the Ineos logo on top of the
Yeah,
air
it's a
intake.
good fit. And their fucking wheel rims actually look cool.
Yeah, they've done something.
The
for them.
AMG
I don't know.
fucking
They
logo.
don't look like James Bond shooting the iris.
Well, they don't look like just a black fucking boring dinner plate either. You know, the AMG logo actually looks alright
Yeah, it does.
on
look
the
good.
side rim.
Okay.
Oh,
That's fair.
well done, Mercedes.
All right, now we get the Red Bull.
Oh, shock.
Ooh,
Looks like a Red Bull.
wasn't expecting this.
Now, here's something that you might not have noticed. Have you noticed the HRC logo up there?
Not until you're just pointing it at me.
HRC is Honda Racing. So they've still got
Still got.
a Honda logo on there.
It's still a Honda engine.
And I think they're one of the few teams that's still running Tag Heuer timing and not Richard Mill.
Yeah, they would be one of the only. And Oracle is now the main sponsor of the fucking team, not what was down the side? What was there last year? I think it was just
Honda.
a big I think it was just a big Honda logo.
Yeah.
Oracle, who also used to sponsor Jos Verstappen back
Yeah.
in the 90s at Benetton,
Yep.
is now sponsoring world champion with number 1 on his car, Max Verstappen.
How good is it to see number one
yeah,
back
about
on the
time
car?
someone took the balls and got number 1 back on the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like a Red Bull.
It
I
looks like a
do
Red
like
Bull.
how the dinner plates have got the red.
Yeah.
the
They did
red
something
around.
with it. I feel like teams are lacking. They need to make the dinner plates pop, man.
Yeah.
Do something with them. Remember the Brawn? Where it had the fluoro fucking dinner plates?
Yep.
They look good.
Yeah.
Like, do something.
They give it some pop.
They do.
So the Williams. The Williams.
Another one.
It's
I
a
very
Williams.
much like.
I actually quite like it.
Yeah, this is in my top 3.
Mm.
I really like it.
It's still got the W in diamonds.
Yeah, that's a
on the
nice
side.
touch.
Yeah, that's cool.
They've got Duracell batteries now, so their voltage is going to be a lot better.
I don't know, Energizer might have something to say about that. Although, I do...
And they've still got Lavazza coffee. My mum actually likes the Lavazza coffee.
I'm looking at the... Like, they're lacking a lot of sponsors, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're still a team very much on the rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think financially they're doing well. I think if they have a really strong season this year,
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Oh.
I think they will. So.
I think the dollars will come in and the sponsors will come in.
Well,
They'll
they've got
have-
the dollars at the moment. I think they will just wait to see them keep improving until.
They'll have a better year.
Yeah.
They'll definitely
Yeah.
have a better year.
I don't think they'll. At the end of last season, I said they'd be up the fighting up the front.
Yeah,
I
you
don't-
predicted third.
I don't think they'll quite be there now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll be in the midfield. They'll be far and away from the Haas and the Alfa Romeo,
Yeah.
but
They'll be closer to the Astons and they'll be closer to the AlphaTauris. Although
Yeah.
both of those are looking stronger.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the Aston's looking stronger.
AlphaTauri's looking strong too.
Mm.
I think the biggest loser will probably be. I think the Red Bull will be a big loser,
I don't know.
and I think the Alpine.
Yeah, I think the Alpine might struggle, but we'll see.
It just depends if they can get that engine right.
Yeah.
For me, this is the sexiest livery all damn year.
No biasness.
No bias
No
at all,
bi-
mate.
I mean, like I saw it and I was just like, "Wow, that is striking."
I'm
it is-
glad,
It's the Ferrari.
It is
I'm
good.
glad they went red and black and not red and fucking burgundy or red and white.
Yeah, well, it's even their uniforms now have got red and black all over them.
Yeah.
they look good.
And it's a darker red. It's not their usual red. It's something more like when Prost was driving for the team back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
You know, it's got that look and feel, and it
Looks good. It
Even-
does look fucking good.
even like all the other cars when they did their reveal, they just used like the show car and put their livery over the show car. Ferrari actually showed their car,
Yeah.
their proper car, with like this weird aerodynamic thing in here that goes over the side pod that no other team has got, and it's got the extremely wide air intake on the side. The
It's
side
really
pods.
narrow too.
Yeah, the needle nose.
Mm.
And it just looks aggressive,
It does.
and it looks like a team, much like the McLaren. It looks like a team that's ready to fight and ready to take some chances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think
they're going for it.
They'll
this
be
year,
up
I
there, man.
reckon.
Carlos Sainz, man. Watch for him this year.
Yep.
He could be right in the title fight.
And I think in our group chat you said that something about the Mercedes engine sounding a bit better this year and whatever. I saw the video of them doing the shakedown at Fiorona with that car, and that engine, oh my god.
Yeah, they all sound crisper this year because they changed the fuels. They're on 10% ethanol fuel, but
But like in previous years, the Ferrari, according to the game, the Ferrari engine has sounded like a Dyson vacuum cleaner.
oh yeah,
This year it sounds like a V6 Demon that's about 2 shades away from being the old V8.
yeah. No, I'm real happy with the way all the cars are sounding at the moment.
And, that Ferrari, that's my favourite livery of the year. Normally, Ferrari would be like, yeah, it's great, it's red. But there's something about this livery where I'm just going, that's sexy as hell.
Could have made the dinner plates pop, but they could have made the dinner plates pop.
I think they just want to make the dinner plates work.
They lose. They lose just a little mark for me because they didn't make the dinner plates pop.
They didn't put James Bond on the dinner
Yeah.
plates. But
Oh, imagine that, like that design, but red and black.
yeah, or put the prancing horse on the dinner plates
Yes,
as it's
yes,
spinning around. You gotta-
yes. That would have been wicked.
That would have been
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So obviously, Johnny, I'm guessing the McLaren is your favourite livery of the year.
It has won me over, but Ferrari's very close second. Yeah,
Yeah. How about you?
My favourite's Aston Martin.
yeah. It is a sexy livery.
My top three would be Aston Martin, Williams, Ferrari.
How about you, JB?
Yeah, McLaren, Ferrari, and yeah, I think the Aston looks good. AlphaTauri would be a close fourth.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, for me, it's the Ferrari, it's the Aston Martin, and it's the Williams.
Yep.
With the McLaren and the Williams are certainly fighting for that
Yeah.
third spot.
Yeah.
So that's not a demotion on the McLaren. It's
The only few I'm kind of disappointed with are Haas, and
Alpine.
Alpine,
Yeah.
and a little bit Alfa Romeo. I mean, it looks alright, but they didn't really do anything striking.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, but
Yeah, agree.
it was not terrible.
Agree.
Otherwise, I think everyone else did a really good job with deliveries this year.
Definitely did.
So what drivers do you think we should look out for this season?
Carlos.
Not Valtteri Bottas.
Not Valtteri Bottas and not fucking
Zhao
Nikita Mazepin.
Guanyu. Oh yeah, and Nikita Mazepin. That's a given.
Carlos
Oh,
Sainz
we'll be looking out for him. Looking out for him going back to Russia.
getting his fucking service papers mid-race. And
You know what?
The
We
fucking-
joke about that. I wouldn't mind if it happened. Like, I
Mid-
wouldn't mind betting it
he
happened.
fucking comes into the pit stop, the fucking Russian army chopper, lands in the paddock, get the fuck in. We joke about it, but this could legitimately fucking happen.
Legit happen, yeah.
And then Guan Yu Zhou will be fucking next. And we're like, oh, good.
Nikita, box, mate. Box, box.
Box,
Pulls
you're
up
off.
and he's got AKs pointed at him.
Get in.
Get in the
You have been drafted to fight in the war. That's German.
They're on our side this time.
Yeah,
100 years later, it's amazing how different it is.
Yeah. No, I think Carlos Sainz is the man to watch. If Ferrari's going to be in the fight, fucking watch him.
Yeah, Lando
And
Norris,
Lando.
Yeah, Lando's looking good.
Sebastian Vettel. I think he's a dark horse this year.
Yeah, and George Russell, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Max.
Pierre Gasly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's going to even lift his game from last year.
I think Gasly's got a point to prove.
I would put money. I'm going to go bold, but I would probably put money on Gasly winning a GP this year.
Yeah.
Bit cool.
Yeah.
But I can see it happening.
He's done it before.
Yeah.
I'm going to put money on Carlos Sainz winning the championship.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Honestly. Probably legitimately going to put money after this podcast on Carlos Sainz.
Yep.
Winning the
But I mean,
championship.
Charles Leclerc, you got to keep an eye on him too. I mean,
I'd keep an eye on Charles, but I think, as we said last year, I think Carlos is the better driver.
Yeah.
and I think Danny Rick,
He will be better,
Mm.
but I think
but
he's
Lando will be better.
Yeah. Lando just seems
Lando
to be
will be better.
ahead of him.
Danny Rick is going to be an overpaid number 2 driver.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm seeing it. That's what I'm
But
seeing.
yeah, I think he'll like the car better. But
Yeah.
Lando's going to go to another fucking level.
Yeah.
Lando will be the lead driver at
I
McLaren.
think this will be. I think Ricciardo's on his way out. Like, as in, his talent isn't going to outweigh that car where Lando's is.
Yeah,
And like you said, Ricciardo's going to be an overpaid number 2 to the point where, we don't want to pay that much for a number 2, so going to have to go somewhere else. If
and
there is anywhere
considering
else,
Lando
you know?
just signed on till what 2026?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Ricciardo's
he's
got
only-
his work
Lando's
cut
their
out.
future. That's what they're going with. Lando's their future, and Ricciardo's they're hoping they can get
Ricciardo is their
talent we know
present.
of him.
Yeah, Ricciardo is their short term.
Yeah.
And he'll have to prove that he's long term,
which he's not at the moment.
which
And
he's not at the moment.
I mean, Red Bull thinks that Max Verstappen is their long term.
Oh,
Ferrari thinks
that's
Charles Leclerc is their long term.
I think
think
they
they-
can change their fucking mind.
Yeah, I think they secretly Carlos Sainz is their long term.
But Mick Schumacher's their long term, so what do you do? They're going to have to flip that coin eventually.
Well, here's an interesting question. Let's pose an interesting question.
Might as well.
If Haas goes under
Hmm.
later on later on in the season, what do you think will happen?
They would just
Mick-
take him out the grid, wouldn't they? Unfortunately.
Well, like
Nikita Mazepin's out of the sport. He's done. Mick Schumacher would probably just have to be fucking reserve driver for Ferrari.
Which he already is, isn't he? One of.
Yeah, he's Ferrari's reserve driver.
Yeah.
That's all he can do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so your fucking team folded mid-year, like
Yeah.
through no fault of your own or Nikita's own.
Unless someone comes in
or
and
even
buys
Dimitri's
them
own.
halfway through the year
Well,
magically.
How about this for an idea? This is such a long shot, but because Haas actually has their base of operations at Fiorino, near Ferrari, because Ferrari built it for them.
Yeah.
They didn't even build one for Alfa Romeo. They built one for Haas. What if Ferrari bought Haas and renamed it Dino?
It's a possibility.
And that way, it could be their B
Toro
team.
Rosso.
It could be their Toro Rosso, their AlphaTauri, their Williams,
You'd
their
have to
Aston Martin.
You'd have to cross that bridge, but does Gene Haas still technically own the team?
Yes.
So you'd have to get Gene Haas to sell.
Well, do you, actually, I think the race was talking about Haas because they were talking about Uralkali having to pull out because of the current political climate.
Yeah.
Uralkali, despite the fact that the car is covered in the Colgate colours, the Russian flag, he is a minority owner.
Yeah, Gene Haas
Gene
owns
Haas
that
is
team.
still the principal owner of the team.
Which
and-
begs to the question, even with Uralkali leaving the fucking sport at this point in time, what does Haas doesn't need to worry about it. Like, he's a backer. Dimitri's a backer. He's got money, but it's Gene's team. So just because Uralkali's leaving doesn't mean Haas has to fold.
But don't forget too, Gene doesn't want to pump any more money into the team.
That's it, yeah. That's
Well,
what-
he's gonna have to
which is
find a
why they
backer,
got-
or
which
he's
is why
gonna
they
have
got
to sell.
Uralkali. Yeah.
If Ferrari don't buy it, you know who I think would be another great shoe-in to buy that team and completely clean this, wipe the slate clean? Penske. Or
Yeah.
if Audi bought it. And
But they don't get their engine in until 26.
yeah, but if they bought it,
If Haas is going to go under, it's going to be soon.
Yeah,
Like
It's not
this
go-
isn't
it's gonna
this
be
isn't
before
going to
the
be
season
in the
ends.
future. This is going to be fucking this year.
it'll be before the season ends.
If Urakali's sponsorship money is what they're so dependent on, Haas will fold this year. So he'd need to find a backer quick, which means either Ferrari's going to have to buy it, or Gene Haas is going to have to buy the fucking bullet and just fund his own team again.
And the worst
And
part,
find some fucking sponsors.
which I don't think he wants to do, and the worst part is they're not looking great to encourage new backers because, again,
And
they're looking
Nikita-
atrocious
They're
Nikita-
already.
looking
you know?
desperate.
Yeah, well, they don't look like
And
someone you'd want to sponsor or back because they're going to be at the back of the grid by the looks of it
And
so far. I know
to-
it's early.
to
But
be honest, if I was Gene Haas, I'd be sitting there talking to Gunther Steiner going, mate, who you're picking to back this team, please stop. I mean, he picked Rich Energy. Look
Yeah.
how that turned out. Rich Energy just sunk like the Hindenburg. And now he's got Uralkali, and they've had to pull out because of political
That's not their
stuff.
fault, though.
No,
That's
that's
not
right.
Urakali's fault. Rich Energy was Rich Energy's fault.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't Gene's fault, or Nikita's fault, or fucking even Dimitri's fault.
yeah, it's just,
Nikita Mazepin's going to lose his fucking seat because his president went to war.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
Mazepin's fault at all. You know,
I mean,
like-
as much as we shit on the kid, that's
Yeah.
a fucking shit way to fucking
yeah,
That's
be out
true.
of
that's
the
not
sport.
actually how I'd like to see him go out because
Like,
I'd
yeah.
rather see his license.
You'd like to
pulled,
see him
so-
get shot with an AK-47. Let's tell the truth.
He's going to lose his seat in Formula One through sheer lack of talent, and he's well on his way to doing that.
Yeah,
But to lose your seat because your country went to fucking war,
yeah,
I mean,
it's a scapegoat.
which is fine because by virtue you also have to go to war now.
Yeah, yeah.
As a inscripted soldier. Yeah, it's just a rough. Like I think both those, like Rich Energy, William Story, we thought he was legit.
Yeah.
At the beginning, we all thought he was legit. Then he turned
Yeah.
out to be a con man.
Yeah,
And fucking
Fooled everyone.
Urakali, you know, Russians, yeah, they're a little bit out of the box, but Putin
hang on.
Putin wasn't going to war while Trump was in power. Like no one, you know, this is really recent.
yeah.
Even back to the
They've
end of
picked
last
their
year.
timing well. They've
But,
picked their timing
to,
well.
to William Story's defence, I mean, he sponsored the Jamaican bobsled team.
Did he really?
He did,
Jesus.
and he's the main sponsor of Sunderland.
Who's this?
William Story.
So he's
Rich
got
Energy.
so
Yeah,
he's
right.
got money.
I mean, I'm not sure how much 365 quid gets you, but
Sunderland.
At the moment, it does.
Which tells you all they fucking need to know. Keep doing it.
you're a little bit more up on the FA Premier League.
Oh, I'm very up in the FA.
Where
Premier
are
League at the
Sunderland?
moment.
That League One.
Down there.
Yeah, they're like third league.
Only thing is, I'm 3 points behind that guy's team.
Who's your team?
Manchester City.
Where's my team?
Tottenham's like top 5, I think, still.
Yeah.
They're doing
my,
alright.
and my other team,
Who's your other team?
West Ham.
No, they're actually going for top 4 this year, West Ham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
doing
looking really
like
good.
they're doing like
Yeah.
crazy. Like they beat us. They
Yeah.
they
That ain't
like.
too hard.
They're just not losing.
I mean, it is.
I mean, you can back me up. That ain't
no,
hard.
no, it's not hard. It's not
Whoa.
hard.
No, just phone it in
26 games unbeaten. It's not hard. It's not hard.
like Parramatta. Oh!
Podcast is over. Number 1, Liverpool won the Carabao Cup this morning, and number 2, Parramatta pumped Penrith in the trial. So you could both sit down and get back on topic.
You know what that means? You've jinxed both those teams and McLaren and Alpine.
You know what we need to do now? We need to watch an old classic GP where McLaren just go out of the race and don't end up finishing.
Australia 2001.
We need to watch it.
Australia 2000 and like, was it 2014 where Alonso like barrel rolled through the sand trap?
Look,
Like
we want to
300
watch something where they conk out, not something depressing.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but that was 2015 when he was in the McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
when
a
they were
shit-
running the GP2 engine.
GP2
Yes.
engine.
Yeah, like I said, 2001. At least you can watch Mika Hakkinen walk back to the pits. And they say, what happened? He's like, oh, God damn it.
They
Oh,
spun.
it's so terrible. At least he had a sense of humour about it.
He did.
As opposed to Fernando Alonso for an entire season going, this is shit. This is all actually 3 seasons.
Yeah, well,
This is
Fernando can
awful.
fucking keep looking at our fucking rear wing for the rest of the fucking season.
Yeah, well, he ditched us to go to you. So you can look at both our rear wings and we can just sit there and flip him the bird as
That's
we're driving
it.
past.
That's it.
Not that Ferrari people can say much. I mean, Alpine won a race last year. McLaren won a race last year. Ferrari didn't, but we still got third in the constructors.
You were more
Just
consistent.
consistent.
We should have won 2 races last year, but that's all right.
Oh, yeah, well, according to every Lewis Hamilton fan, fucking Lewis Hamilton should have won the championship.
Shit happens. It's racing.
I suppose, well, I mean, Michael Massey has been given the boot as the FIA
Yeah.
director too. We forgot to mention that news story.
Disappointed in that, to be honest.
So's Christian Horner. Almost. Like, legitimately and ironically, Christian
Yeah.
Horner's real fucking not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Like, I think he deserved a season of not having Toto and Christian Horner battling to see who can deep third in the best.
So
Yeah.
I've got to clarify this too because Hassan Ben,
I'll say him.
yeah, whatever his name is,
That guy.
Ben Solo,
I'll say him.
Ben Solo, Jedi Knight extraordinaire. So he has flipped on that. The teams can still call up the FIA race director,
That shit.
What?
but
No.
they're not broadcasting it.
No, I just don't want them
Just don't
at all talking. Because look at the controversy we've had. The guy's lost his job now.
Massey's
Because
lost
of
his job.
controversy. Yeah. So what? Well, now we're
Lewis
gonna
Hamilton fucking nearly left the sport.
Yeah.
It's a shit show.
That's disappointing.
That's really
That's
disappointing.
really
Like,
disappointing. Because I was hoping they'd come away with the stance they did, which was, okay, no more talking to the race director. And they'd come out and go, we're going to give Massey one more year without people bitching in his ear and see how he goes. And then,
outside of Abu Dhabi, do you think Michael Massey honestly did that bad of a job?
Look,
not
it-
considering everyone's bitching in his ear.
There was a few fucking moments that we highlighted mid-year that
Well,
Yeah.
maybe.
the one I always go back to where I think Michael Massey really fucked up majorly besides Abu Dhabi was Bahrain. When there was the track limits on... I think it's-
Hamilton was getting away with it all
Yeah.
race, and then they pulled it on Verstappen, was it?
Yeah.
once Verstappen used it to overtake Lewis Hamilton, they told him to give it back, and then they went, oh, there's track limits.
yeah, but
It's like, it
Lewis
should have
wasn't
been
making
consistent the whole race.
Lewis
Yeah.
wasn't making an overtake out there. I can live with that one. Um,
But they should have pulled him up 20 laps because he
Yeah.
did it for 20 laps consistently, and they should have been sitting there saying, "Dude, keep it inside the track."
white, yeah, inside the white lines.
You know?
yeah.
If you don't keep it inside the track, we're gonna throw a fucking green shell at you.
Especially when then someone goes to use it to their advantage, and then you go, "Oh no, you can't do that." Well,
Yeah.
Hamilton was doing it the whole race.
Yeah,
You know.
and Max said that, and it was just it fell on deaf ears.
yeah, yeah.
So the irony of it being, he does that, and then at the end of the season, he loses. And people could sit there and say, "Oh, Michael Massey, blah 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 blah." The simple fact is, Lewis Hamilton didn't pit
Yeah.
to put the tyres on. Red Bull did. He lost.
And Lewis cut the track in lap 1 on that race.
Correct, and got away with
That
it because he
wasn't
gained
called.
an advantage. If Bill Burr on YouTube can sit there and say he cut the corner and ended up 2 seconds down the road, but oh fuck, he didn't gain an advantage. There's something fucking wrong.
I was impressed that Bill Burr's like that big into Formula 1 and MotoGP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought he was a comedian.
Yeah.
But he's like proper into everything.
Yeah, he's into a lot of sports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
lots of
man.
sports. It was quite funny. I was watching an interview. I think it was highlights of the preseason testing, and they had a quick little interview with Lewis Hamilton. And he just goes, "Oh, our team doesn't make mistakes." Straight up, I was like, "Yes, they do."
It's like you
Yeah.
made several.
It's
They
called
didn't
your
pit.
pit stops.
Yeah,
You made fucking several
Yeah.
last year.
yeah, just last year alone. Like, I don't get me wrong, you have been the superior team, but you do make mistakes, and you were pretty salty about it last time I heard.
Yeah, you were rather salty about a mistake that they possibly made.
Yeah.
But Michael Massey is actually being replaced by 2 guys.
Yeah, and they're alternating, which
So-
is not good.
No.
Yeah, but
We want consistency. That was what we wanted out of
Yeah.
last year.
they're also going to have a team of guys in Switzerland at FIA headquarters or whatever, who they're the guys who review things like track limits and that, and then send the info to the race directors.
I thought that's what the big room at every fucking FIA racetrack in the world was for.
Yeah, but the reason why these guys are going to be off-site is so that the drivers and the teams cannot speak to them.
But they
Why
can
can't they
speak
do
to the
that in
race
a-
director.
Why can't they do that in their
Yeah,
box
just
and
put
out?
a
Why
black
can't they
hood
just-
over them and marshal them in.
Unplug the fucking phone line
Yeah.
of the combox of the fucking FIA race control.
Yeah, simple.
How about you send me
Simple.
send me an email. One of my delegates will read said email and say, hey, they think fucking Valtteri Bottas can't drive suddenly in turn 3.
They go, no, he's just in an Alfa Romeo now. That's what that is.
I personally think if they're going to have a room full of people, they need to have a person on every corner who just watches one fucking corner. So then if someone breaks track limits, that one person is watching that one corner
He's got a
for
little-
2
They
fucking
don't-
hours.
They've just got a
They-
little buzzer in front of them, and the minute they see something, they just hit the buzzer, and
Yeah.
it comes up, and it
They don't-
brings an alert.
They don't police track limits at every corner either. It's usually only 5 or 6 fucking corners.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
which
should
I don't
be-
get. It should be
It should
every corner.
Every corner.
Yeah,
Why can't you do that?
yeah,
Why can't you just have your guy there or a fucking sensor in the ground and
yeah,
the guy watches the fucking sensor line and it's like, oh, he's done it fucking twice.
yeah,
Get on the radio to fucking Sonoda
yeah,
to tell him not to fucking do it again or he's getting a 5-second penalty.
yeah. Exactly
Yeah.
right.
You can have 3 or 4 guys doing that for every driver on the grid.
Yeah,
It's not hard.
no.
Like, we say this sitting here as armchair experts, but put us in the pay us.
Yeah, we can do it.
We'll go around the world and fucking police track limits.
Make me race director, just so it gives me a chance to tell Toto to fuck off.
We'll do it mashed style.
It's called a motor race, Toto.
We'll do it fucking
He
mashed
doesn't
style.
like Australian accents now.
If he's fucking outside track limits again, I'm getting the Apache on him.
We got Dimitri Mazepin's other kids there with the AK-47s.
We kept Dimitri employed. He's my secretary of track limits.
All of a sudden, no one's breaking track limits that year.
It's just fucking landmines outside the track.
Now
Break a
try.
track limit,
Now
off
try.
you go.
Now fucking try.
Now you see what happens when you break
No,
the track limit.
Just put gravel on all the outside over every single track.
All you've got to do
or a
is
wall.
get those fucking like drive-through spike things. And if you drive outside there too far, they just pop up and
Yeah.
cut your tires.
Just put glue.
Wouldn't that be wicked? Like, you start adding, like... That's bad, but you start adding things in there for them to, like, avoid, like, to make the race more spectacular. Like you said, like, every now and then, like a ramp flips or something. Like, it's like a mix
That's what
between...
That's what you can do for the sprint races.
it's like war
It's like
machine.
slalom.
Yeah.
It's literally Mario Kart.
Yeah,
for fucking
that's
20 laps. It's like Death Race.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The floor disappears
Yeah.
into lava at some randomly. And
Break the track limit, there's glue outside. You drag glue onto the track.
This will bring the fucking fans back.
All of a sudden, Nicky Lauda's speech at the start of Rush. 22 drivers in F1.
And each year, 22 of them die.
What makes a man want to do this? Dreamers, lunatics, fucking nutcases,
Fucking vankers.
fucking rock stars. But Michael Massey has been replaced by 2 guys who are going to alternate. The first one is Niels Wittich, who used to be the race director for World Endurance Championship, and Eduardo Freitas, who was the...
Wasn't he the bad guy on Too Fast, Too Furious?
and you, I'll take my cutter back.
take my cutter back.
I'll take it out of your cut. If he's got Eva Mendes with him, yeah, all right, I'm sold.
I'm for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just show me just live stream of the box race control, just the whole race.
Ratings are down on the race channel, but fuck me, the pit lane channel's spiked.
Everyone's watching race control.
Yeah.
The fuck's going on up there? Eduardo Freitas, he was the race director for DTM.
Right.
Now, it's actually common knowledge that Niels Wittich, who was a World Endurance Championship race director, they had a similar system with him where the teams could talk to him directly. If they spoke to him, and it's happened where teams have spoken to him the same way as like your Toto Wolffs and your Christian Horners spoke to Michael Massey at Abu Dhabi, and there's no easy way to say this, he would actually tell them to fuck off.
Good.
That's good.
I want to hear this on the
Yeah,
broadcast.
Yeah, now I want to hear it. Yeah.
Hey, Toto, fuck off.
Yeah. No, Mikey, no. Toto, fuck off, son.
See, that's why we would be fucking good race directors, because we'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Straight
mate,
up.
we'd police it like we're Judge Dredd.
Yeah, yeah, we would.
Judge, jury, and executioner.
Yuki Tsunoda would have been shot for track limits earlier in the season.
To me, Nikita Mazepin would have just been shot. He just shows up at the track, bang, dead. Right, you're out. What do you?
I'd say he'd be facing a firing squad, but if Russia don't stop that shit, he might be facing some Ukrainian fucking firing squads.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, online he faces firing squads from every person who sits there and thinks he's a fucking dickhead.
He's probably safer going in the water. to be
He
honest.
actually faced a firing squad at the end of last year as I motioned towards Longhorn.
He did.
Oh, what a epic firing squad that was.
Fucking, apparently people are fucking online at him, blaming him for the Ukraine war.
Why not?
Because that's not how fucking war works. He's an F1 driver.
It's got
Yeah, but
nothing to do.
F1 feels like a job to him.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
So does
He'd
inscription.
rather be out driving buggies with his mates.
Well, hopefully,
Not anymore.
hopefully,
He's
fucking.
in the trenches now.
Now he's driving tanks with his mates. Now he's driving troop carriers with his mates.
Yeah.
He's going to be great driving the troop carrier with the tracks for the rear tyres. He's going to be great at that.
Yeah.
Imagine him in a tank, though.
Oh, I don't
He
know if
doesn't
I'd
have to
wanna
worry
see
about. He doesn't have to worry about track limits in that thing.
Wouldn't that be
He
hilarious?
is-
It's like they inscript him and he's like, okay, I think I'll be good at like driving. They're like, no.
No,
You're alright, you're alright. Yeah.
It's like Starship Troopers. Where are you going? Mobile infantry, sir. Yeah, mobile infantry. Maybe the man I am today. Turns out he's got no
No
legs
legs.
and one arm. And we thought Robert Kubica was fucked up. Oh, mate, welcome back to F1. Well, you know, he gets in the car and someone's got One by Metallica playing.
That's it. That's all. You
Landmine has taken my sight, taken my speech, taken my hearing.
Spotify's gonna love us. We're gonna get the Joe Rogan treatment.
We're going to get cancelled in 3 episodes.
We're gonna get the Joe Rogan treatment by the end of this.
If they give us the Joe Rogan treatment before that and give us a shit ton of money.
Can they give us the Joe Rogan experience like with the paycheck?
Yeah.
Well, I have been the Jamie of this show all the time.
You have.
You have.
You have.
The Jamie and the Joe Rogan. Spitting out controversial opinions and then fighting shit on the computer.
Yeah.
Yippee!
It's what we do. We're
Dreams really do come true.
we're professional. PROFUSHNUL.
Mixed capitals between in that word.
Emojis and shit.
Yeah.
Is that like that song Marvelous by the 12th Man? You remember that one?
Vaguely.
MARVELLOUS. And it was him like singing as Richie Bernard. Calls himself MCG Hammer.
Yeah, no, I do remember a few of those skits. They're pretty good.
It was a song.
Yeah, I know, but he had like the 12th Man, like the album,
Yeah.
but it was like a full like skit in between songs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was like the skit between Bill Laurie and Tony Gregg. And Merv Hughes goes into bowl and he's doing Bill Laurie. He's like, "Oh, that's got him. Oh, it's a great day for Australia. Great day for Victoria. Great day for the world. Piss off, you're out." Well,
I remember that, yeah, that's gold, yeah.
The 12th Man doing Formula 1 commentary where he's trying to do his best Murray Walker impression. It's like a big prank, and he's like, Look at all these cars going round and fucking round. We've killed Longmorn.
Oh, you broke me.
That sums up NASCAR. Look at all these cars going I can't do it. Look at all these cars going round and fucking round.
F1 preseason. eh?
You know what I'd love to do is just take footage of Mario Kart and put Murray Walker's commentary over the top of it.
Surely someone's done it on YouTube.
Yes, that has to be a thing.
If that hasn't, make it happen. Someone, Super GT, make it happen, bro.
Oh gosh, that broke me.
Send someone to the Shadow Realm.
That's it.
So going into testing number 2, who are the teams we should watch out for?
I think
McLaren,
you were,
Ferrari.
yeah, I think you were right with maybe not a lot of teams are sandbagging here. But yeah, McLaren, Ferrari. I want to see what the real pace of the Red Bull is. I want to see what the real pace of the Mercedes are as well. Keeping in mind, not every car loves Barcelona, so, there could be cars that love Bahrain that, that's always
look
one of
at
the variables.
Barcelona.
And
Yeah,
it was cooler conditions as well.
Yeah.
And on the third day at Barcelona, they artificially wet the track so they could test out the wet tyres.
Yeah, how do the 18 inches go in fucking wet tyres? Mustn't be too bad, I guess.
In the spray, you could actually see the vertices, the air vertices coming off, particularly the Ferrari.
Yeah.
You'd see the air vertices and the
And
Venturi
they
effect.
seemed quite confident about the ability to follow the car in front.
Yes. I
Most
heard Charles
importantly.
Leclerc talking about that. He was
Yeah.
saying right in real close is really, really good. It's really, really, it's promising. So,
And they actually think if the racing's good enough, after a couple of years, they're getting rid of DRS.
Yeah.
They're like, if the cars don't need the drag reduction system to aid in overtaking, their DRS could be gone by.
Watching those retro races, like they didn't need DRS then. They already had DRS because the wings were so damn flat.
Yeah.
But, they didn't need DRS. They just needed skill and opportunity.
Yeah, I think the only reason you ever really need to urgently get in front of the car in front is if it's a lapped car. But that's what
Or if it's an Alfa Romeo.
that's what blue flags are for.
Or a Haas.
That's what blue
yeah,
flags
blue
are for.
flags are for. Yeah.
I think other than
go
that,
faster
the skill of having to line up and overtake for 3, 4, 5 laps. I don't think a lot of these drivers have that fucking skill.
No, I just want to see, I remember watching Interlagos last year and Lewis Hamilton just overtake everyone on the straight with DRS, just like, it was the only spot he was doing it. And I'm like, to me, I was like, there's not that, of course, there's skill in it, but I was like, I want to see, like in the old races, them set that up for 3 or 4 laps to take their shot.
Yeah.
Strategically, and they could take it and work out where they're going to take it on the track, not just go, oh, I'm on the straight, DRS, bang,
Yeah.
see ya.
Yeah, I feel
Wait
like
till the next come around, I've caught up, DRS,
Yeah.
see ya. You know?
that skill, that part of the skill of overtaking, I think is dead in a lot of these drivers. And I think there's not a lot of these drivers on the grid now that were racing when DRS was not a thing, actually. I think the only one is Lewis.
Who do you think
Seb
would
came
have
in,
the skill to set it up?
and Seb Vettel was like 09, but he...
Oh, and Alonso.
And Seb fucking debuted probably the year before DRS was in, or 2 years. I think DRS was 2011.
His
So
first
he
season
was-
in F1
He was 09, wasn't he?
No. His first race in F1 was 07.
Yeah, right.
Because he filled in for Robert Kubica.
Yeah, so Seb, Lewis, and Fernando Alonso are the only 3 drivers on the grid right now that know what it's like to race without DRS in Formula One.
But if you look at, I think Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, I think Daniel Ricciardo, if
Yeah.
he's got the car underneath him, I think George Russell, all these younger drivers that have come through GP2 or F2 in the last few years, they know how to dogfight.
They know how to-
Lewis Hamilton doesn't,
because he hasn't had to.
He hasn't had to. His overtaking is.
I mean, he got in a dogfight last year and he ultimately lost out. So
he got into a dogfight and put Max Verstappen into a wall doing 21G.
yeah, but he also got into a dogfight and lost out in fucking Imola and fucking Zandvoort and fucking
Monza.
You know, there was a lot of places where he got outgunned. But it'd be good, like if they do get rid of DRS, watching all these young guys adapt
To that would be cool. Wouldn't
and develop the skill of having to set up an overtake.
it? Yep.
I think Lando would be good at it. I think Max would be good at it. You know, Pierre Gasly already looks like he's got Carlos Sainz. You know, George Russell could develop it.
That's what I mean.
Danny Rick already knows how to do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a lot of these younger drivers drive like drivers from the 80s and the 90s, where it's they don't set it up as much, so they'll have to work on that. Oh, pardon me. But they know that they can stick it in places that aren't typical overtake places. They drive on the edge, not just technological or the limit of the car, but kind of like Ayrton Senna would drive on the limit of what the other driver's ability would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
And now add that element in that not only are you going to try and stick the car on the outside of a corner that's not typical, you're going to have to set it up for 3 laps and you're going to have to catch the other guy napping.
Yep.
You've got to see where they're weakest at.
You're going to have to actually figure out where on the track you're faster and where on the track you're slower.
Yeah, where you got the space.
And you're
going
gonna
to
have to.
Yeah.
You're going to have to mentally figure out where you're going to fucking overtake them. Because hopefully now that the cars are more simplified and hopefully some of the controls can be more simplified too, you don't have to think as much about what you're doing with the settings of the car. You can think about the fucking race and where you're going to get this guy.
Which hopefully makes for not only more overtakes, but more interesting battles, more defences, more racing.
Some of the greatest overtakes in Formula One history all came without the aid of DRS.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember Mika and Shuey?
At Spa.
Remember at Spa, Mark Webber underneath Fernando Alonso?
Yep.
Up Eau Rouge?
Yep. That was brilliant.
That was fucking phenomenal.
That wasn't just brilliant. That was ballsy.
Yeah, that's an
anyone doing an overtake.
That's a fucking aeroplane. If they fucking touch, they're probably both dead.
Yeah. Into Eau Rouge. I mean, that's...
And it's uphill, so the cars would have lifted. They probably would have gone over the barriers into the fucking forest.
Yeah. Radion and Eau Rouge, that's the places you don't want to do an overtake.
And Fernando was gentlemanly enough to give him just enough fucking room. And Mark Webber was fucking ballsy enough to make it work.
Yeah.
And you didn't need DRS. You just needed fucking luck and skill and balls and...
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, look at that German 2000 race at the old, the proper Hockenheim. They were doing overtakes. They had the long straights, but they were doing overtakes into hairpins and not hairpins, into chicanes, and the other drivers were still fighting it in the chicanes.
Yeah.
They were ballsy bastards back then.
Yeah, I mean...
We had to be.
And
that's right, yeah.
Since DRS has come in, like I said, you don't have to be. You can, if you've got the superior car, you can just wait till you get to the DRS zone and bang,
push
off
a button
you go.
and off you go.
I'm past you. Yep.
And you don't need DRS for to do a mass overtake. I watched Canada 2011 the other day, and the cars had DRS, but it was pissing down rain, so there was no DRS allowed. Jenson Button went from last to first. You don't need DRS if your car's on. If you're a good enough driver and your car's on, you don't need DRS to pass the entire field.
No.
You could get just as much overtakes done without DRS.
Well, I mean,
Sergio Perez, when he did it, I don't know how much. He did a lot of overtakes.
Yeah.
When he come from, was it second last or last to first in, where was that?
Baku, I think.
Baku?
Yeah.
No, not Baku. Bahrain? No, it was one of the night races in the Middle East.
It might have been Bahrain. Was it Sakir?
Yeah, I think it was Sakir. If you go back and watch that, a lot of his overtakes were driver skill.
Yeah, well, the only DRS on that short track was the front straight anyway.
Yeah.
And he came from, he did. I think he did come from second last to first in that race.
Yep.
In the Racing Point.
Yeah, and a lot of his were, race overtakes, not just down
Yeah.
the straight DRS.
And I think there's a real potential to bring that form of racing back.
And don't forget too, with DRS, they've also got something equivalent to IndyCar of the old push to pass.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I
Yeah.
mean, if you...
The overtake button.
And I think, aren't the newer engines going to be more electrical power as well?
Yep.
And less of the hybrid sort of, or the combustion sort of unit.
Yep.
So you can make the ERS deployment longer, so you would have something of the equivalent of a push-to-pass button.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a real potential within the next 5 years that DRS leaves Formula One.
And I think
And I think the
it's-
sport will be better for it.
it's pointing Formula One in the right direction, and it took guys like Ross Brawn and Pat Fry and that to is it Pat Fry or Pat Simmons?
Pat Simmons.
Pat Simmons, to work on it, to get it to really sit down and work on it, as opposed to the Bernie Eccleston method, which was we want the cars to go faster, we don't want them to overtake, we just want them to go faster.
Yeah.
Which that was the wrong way of thinking.
Yeah.
It was up there with Enzo Ferrari saying back in the day, aerodynamics are for people who can't build a decent engine.
I wonder where he'd be now. I mean, he's dead, obviously, but
Yeah, wow.
I mean,
Pretty
yeah.
important these days.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Just a frazzle.
for as
Just
much
a little bit.
for as much as we all miss the fucking V10 engines and whatnot, I think the sport's going in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
you know.
look, if it were up to me, I would take the look of these cars and put the V10 in it.
Oh, would that be just sexy?
Just oh god.
Give it a shot. We'd be alright.
Look at these
But-
cars
but-
going round and fucking round.
Yes, but unfortunately, these cars are built around the V6 engine, which is a lot smaller
That's
than
all
a
right. They
V10.
can take them out, put a V10 in, no problem.
I'm not sure your philosophy's completely sound.
Yes, it is. It is.
Alright.
Just shut up and accept it. Do as you're told. But so yeah, it's really telling with the well, it doesn't really show anything, but the day 3 classification is what I've just put up on the screen, and you know, you've got Lewis Hamilton and George Russell up the front. You've got Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen up the front. The only thing it doesn't show is what tyres they're on, but I know that the top 4 drivers on this were running the softs.
Yeah.
And then everyone else, like the next 3 drivers underneath them were running mediums. It is interesting seeing Alex Albon and Nicholas Latifi in 8th and 9th in the Williams.
It's encouraging.
Nice, yeah. Albon, I'm excited for Albon this year. I think he's going to bring it for Williams.
I think this is Latifi's last shot.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think
gotta bring
Latifi will do much, but I think Albon will bring it, and they'll move forward with Albon as their driver and bring in someone. Well, depends who becomes available, I guess, but Albon will be their future, and Latifi will go.
Well, a lot of people will sit there and say, "Oh, they won't be able to get Daniel Kvyat because he's Russian." He doesn't live in Russia anymore. He left. Yeah, that's his native country, but he lives somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because he's married to oh God, who's he married to? Oh Christ. Oh God.
Someone good. Or not.
I think it's Gerhard Berger's daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he married a Formula One driver's daughter.
Oh, keep it in the family, huh?
Yeah. It's not Gerhard Berger. It's oh God. He married a Formula One driver's daughter. Might have been Lacey's daughter or Prost's daughter. He's married someone.
You'll Google that later and send it in the chat, won't you?
Yeah,
He's gonna He's going to Google it now. We need the end of
We
this
need
story.
to clarify this.
We
yeah,
need
it's going to
clarification.
do my nut in if I don't get it.
So what was Valtteri Bottas running?
He wasn't. He's 11 seconds off.
Seconds off the pace.
11 seconds off the pace, and he ran 10 laps. Nikita Mazepin was 4 seconds faster than him. That's bad.
What is going on?
Daniel Kvyat is married to Kelly Piquet. Nelson Piquet's
Piquet's
daughter.
Nice.
He has a Max Verstappen's girlfriend is Kvyat's ex-partner, I think,
Oh, wow.
and his Kvyat's stepdad. For Kvyat's stepdad, Kvyat's had a son with Max Verstappen's current girlfriend.
Wow.
So Max Verstappen's girlfriend is Kvyat's ex, and they have a child together. So he's
Oh, yeah. Kvyat and Penelope, Kelly Piquet broke up at the end of 2019.
yeah. So that's who Max Verstappen's now dating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, isn't that just fucking awkward?
The
I was
lucky,
just kind of thinking, I was like, well, is Kvyat remarried? Okay, that was quick.
the whirlwind world of Formula One. Although,
22 drivers in Formula One.
didn't Michael Schumacher still fucking,
Heinz Harald Frenzen's girlfriend.
yeah, and wifed her.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's why Heinz Harald Frenzen hated his guts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, I would. Fair reason for that.
I don't think Max and fucking and your Kvyat are on high terms.
No.
Well, I mean, the torpedo's not exactly in F1 at the moment, is he?
No, she went for the Red Bull driver that did make it.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
Oof.
Oh,
Whoopsie.
feels bad, man.
Someone stepped up from Toro Rosso and made it, and someone didn't.
And Kvyat is, or was the reserve driver for Alpine, but now it's Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Oscar. Get on the grid.
Come on, Oscar. Get into Williams next year.
If Valtteri's going to be 4 seconds slower than Nikita, you're in with a shot, mate.
Yeah.
Well, some people are sitting there saying, "Oh, if Mazepin has to go back to Russia, Oscar Piastri's got the seat." If I was Oscar Piastri, I'd be sitting there going, "Nah,
good.
mate,
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm fine."
Yep.
Nothing
to see here. Nothing
Yeah,
to see.
no. I'm going to be up in the commentary box, just sitting there saying all these cars going fucking round and fucking round. No, you sit there and say, no, Robert Kubica's doing nothing. Do you want the seat, bro? Stoffel, mate, you want the seat?
Yeah.
Kabuka would probably take it.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Is he
He's-
still like a
he-
registered...
He is the reserve driver for Alfa Romeo. That might explain why their car sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually...
'Cause he drove the first day of testing for Alfa Romeo.
I'm genuinely surprised that Alfa Romeo is that bad.
Yeah.
I thought they'd at least take a fucking step forward, but...
With Haas as well. I'm like, what?
That's what's got me surprised is the Ferrari engine. Apparently, it's the duck's nuts. Like, it's up there.
So they're doing something else wrong.
Yeah, the rest of the car, clearly.
Well, I'm just like looking through the field. There's one Aston, there's one Alpine, there's one Haas, and
Yeah, they didn't get a shot.
Yeah, because they only
Tsunoda,
brought one car
Stroll.
to the dance.
Yeah.
That was the day 2 results.
Yeah.
Ocon got a shot. Stroll got a shot.
Ocon,
Tsunoda still hasn't had a shot.
Schumacher, 13th. Lance Stroll in 12th.
So they just split
Holy
it.
Christ!
Nikita Mazepin in the top 10. A points finish.
What is
Oh.
this madness?
What is going on?
And Lewis Hamilton is 16th.
Too bad it counts for fucking nothing, Nikita.
Valtteri Bottas is beating Lewis Hamilton.
What world are we living in?
What? Insert that Jackie Chan meme right here of him going, what?
Wow, Pierre Gasly, 147 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Ricciardo
a
did
lot of
120.
driving.
Ferrari over the course of the 3 days did the most amount of laps.
Yeah.
Followed closely by
McLaren, was it?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
You know what
Yes.
fucking sucks? I mean, Barcelona's already the most boring track on the calendar.
Yeah.
Not only do you have to do 300 testing laps here, but you'll be back in like 3 months doing the Grand Prix.
That's why I don't think it should be a track on the calendar.
No, it shouldn't
I
be.
think they should be testing at tracks that aren't like they used to go to Jerez a lot. You can go to Mugello, you can go to fucking Qatar.
Go to Fiorina. It's cheap.
You don't want to run around for arena.
Why? It's cheap.
Go somewhere not on the calendar, but interesting for the
Yeah,
fans.
stop
Like
trying-
Magello. Like you said.
Newcastle.
Newcastle's not even running in the supercars this year.
Surfers Paradise.
Brisbane, right?
Townsville 300.
Brisbane Street
Puka
Track.
Cowway.
Brisbane Street Track right now will bring the extreme wets.
Indianapolis. Go to
Oh,
Indianapolis. You
Yuck.
can test the tyres at the same time.
You can go to like Paul
Zolder.
Ricard. You can go anywhere. Like, just go somewhere that's not a fucking actual on the calendar track.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zold.
But instead we're going to two.
Yeah, go to Kyalami.
Go to Donington.
Yeah, could Donington? Kyalami?
Yeah.
Kyalami should be on the fucking calendar.
Kyalami needs to come back.
Kyalami, replace Russia with Kyalami.
Yep.
Yeah, they wouldn't have it ready in time.
Who cares?
Do it
South
anyway.
Africa
Do it.
needs a fucking race, yeah.
Yes. South Africa needs a driver on the grid too.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
produce some decent talent. They've
Look, Jody Scheckter was South African, wasn't he?
I can't remember who was
It
it.
was.
Who was it in my fucking makeup team in our mid-season special last year? One of the guys on my team was a South African driver, Kevin Vanderlyn.
Yeah. Was he driving DTM?
And he was like reigning DTM world champion.
Yeah.
Like-
he won it, I think, but it was very controversial.
I've
because
got
then
a
he'd take
question.
people out.
If he was reigning DTM champion, did his team boss get told to fuck off by the race director?
Possibly. I haven't watched DTM in a while.
I'm bummed out now. Like, I want to hear these race directors on the broadcast.
Yeah, now I do. If they tell
Yeah.
Toto to fuck off, I'm in.
I feel like you can say fuck off in a sport that's not the pinnacle of motorsport, but if you told someone at Le Mans to fuck off, I mean, oh no, the other guy was the race director of World Endurance.
Yeah, but the other guy was notorious for telling him to sod off too.
Yeah.
They've picked two guys that can sit there and say, look, I don't really give a shit. Piss off.
This is the decision.
I'm not
Go away.
against the opinion that Michael Massey was that guy as well. I think he just got given a raw deal.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
And the guy who is directly beneath those two guys is the guy who's directly beneath Charlie Whiting.
Yeah, right.
So, like, I actually kind of feel sorry for Massey because after Charlie Whiting died, he just got dumped with it.
Yeah,
He-
let's not
he-
forget Charlie Whiting died like on the eve of the Australian Grand Prix
Yes,
in like 2019,
yes,
and Michael Massey was just boom straight in the roll.
yeah.
And for the most part, you know, he was fine until last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably even was still fine-ish.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was
I
a bit
feel like
inconsistent.
I
but
feel like he deserved a chance this year.
yeah, fix the rules up and let him settle in and just tell the teams to fuck off.
Because he wasn't blatantly fucking shit up before that.
No.
You know,
I still maintain though, if you're not going to like these two guys on paper seem like good choices. If you're not going to use them when he's got some spare time, Kimi Räikkönen, because at least he's got no qualms about telling anyone to fuck right off.
you won't see Kimmy around in F1 paddock again.
No,
No,
no.
won't be interested.
He's done.
Yep.
Look, I think they've made the choice that they can make.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's got to appease Lewis Hamilton.
Of course.
Because, you can't have Formula One without Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, you
We
can.
will one day, and
We
it will
will.
still be there.
And
I-
it's going
I-
to be a day soon.
If
Yeah.
he doesn't win the championship this year, I think this is it.
If George Russell beats him, I think this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Lewis can't get his head around the fucking 2022 car, yeah. I mean, I'm taking all these testing times with a grain of salt here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you do, but on the flip side of the coin, like I said earlier, you can't sit there and say they're sandbagging because
No, I don't think any team's
I-
doing that. You
they
can't afford
they can't
to.
afford to.
Yeah.
Can't afford to.
But I mean, if we combine one point with another, we just said Lewis Hamilton probably can't dogfight as well as a Max Verstappen. If these cars promote closer racing, Lewis Hamilton's going to be doing a lot of dogfighting,
Mm.
And he might get crashed out a lot.
and he might
He
be
did.
on the losing end of a lot of one-on-one battles.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will be very happy. Except for the Lewis
I
Hamilton.
could see that happening this year. Like, imagine a year where you've got 4 teams at the top or whatever, and say Hamilton and Verstappen are taking points away from each other because they're, dogfighting and crashing out, and then guys like Sainz and that are just consistently building up points. Toward,
Yeah, Sainz
towards
and
the world
Norris
champion
and
by the
Leclerc.
end.
Fucking, and let's not forget, the fucking visibility in the cockpit's worse.
Yeah.
Everyone forgot about the 18-inch wheels that take away fucking, and the wheel covers,
Yeah.
which take away 6 inches more fucking room than you already had, which is fuck all, to see who's around you.
Yeah.
Just put a cushion under your seat. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but
Push a
then
cushion under your seat that props you up. Like my mum used to do that in a car. She
yeah,
doesn't do it in a current car because you can elevate the seat.
but then your head's like in front of the airbox, and that's probably a little bit worse.
Oh, I mean, if you don't have your helmet on, yeah, it'll fuck up your hair. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'll be interesting to
I mean,
see
you
what
might
they do
have
with
the
that
top.
over the course of
You
the
might
year.
have the top of your head sticking outside of the halo, but I mean,
Yeah.
what do you do?
You've still got the roll bar on the top. You got the T-bar on
I
top.
love how he just ignored that.
Yeah.
Just sailed on past it. He's trying to be all professional and shit.
I've already made Russia jokes at really inappropriate fucking times. We weren't being professional tonight.
We're already cancelled, so might as well go on.
Our one and only episode on Spotify before they pull us.
They're not even going to post it. They're just going to be like, how about no?
Reject. Oh, well, it was fun while it lasted. We'll just go to YouTube because they're not a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they paid us.
Would be.
Right. Well, that's most of the stuff that I can remember.
Yeah, I think
about this
there's been a
episode.
lot of shit happen between. I was saying, we got to push this back until like testing stuff. A lot of fucking shit happened in that 2.5 weeks.
It just kept happening, hey? Every day we'll post
There's
something
probably
in the chat.
shit we've missed
Oh, yeah, easy.
that we're going to have to recap in 2 weeks in fucking Bahrain.
Yeah, if we go back through the chat, there'll be stuff in there, easy.
But, I mean, we've hit all the points. Like, Scotty McLaughlin won his first IndyCar race. We mentioned Herman Tilke.
Yeah.
We mentioned Nikita Mazepin and his old man and the war in Ukraine.
And Haas sucking, and the Alfa Romeo sucks, and McLaren looks good and fast, and Ferrari,
And Ferrari is sexy as fuck.
looks good and fast.
We've bagged out Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
We're just ticking all the boxes tonight.
Yeah.
We've brought up Mike Crack.
Yeah.
Yep. These
Yeah.
are the things you tick off in a
That's
F1
right.
chat episode.
That's
We've
right.
done them.
We have reached the gold standard of checking off stuff. You know, we've gone into personal relationships with Kvyat and
Yeah,
Max
we've
Verstappen.
delved down the scandalous fucking...
World of Formula One.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks, new season of Drive to Survive.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
spoke
wait.
about spoke about Michael Massey
Yep.
And
and Toto Wolff and Christian Horner. We have ticked every box.
Yep.
Going.
We've checked.
we even talked about Zhou Guan Yu changing his name.
Joe Guan Yu.
Who haven't we shouted out?
Hmm.
We talked about Pierre. We've talked about Danny Rick and Fernando, Latifi, Albon.
The other one we haven't talked about is Ocon because
Oh,
he's the most
okay.
forgettable driver on the grid.
No, boys, we're missing one. Lance Stroll, how you doing, buddy?
Hey!
yes, we forgot about Lance.
We forgot
Sir
about you.
Lancelot.
The other most forgettable driver on the grid.
Yeah, that charisma vacuum. Just a personality black hole. Imagine a conversation between him and Nikita Mazepin.
Oh, Jesus
It'd
Christ.
be the most dull thing.
Oh.
It'd be like going to a press conference with an army of Kimi Räikkönen. Ask one of them a question, they all sit there and go, no, I don't want to.
But don't ask them like a good question. Ask them a shit question, like borderline offensive question. That he'll just cold shoulder you.
You just go up to Nikita Mazepin. Hey, what do you know about AK-47s?
Everything.
Hey, can you help me with my buggy?
So what are you going to be doing in Chernobyl next week? You're going to be standing there watching the fucking elephant's foot with the rest of them?
Here's something. Have you seen who the mayor of Kiev is?
Yes.
Vladimir
Klitschko.
Klitschko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
stayed behind the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
The president did as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Ukrainians the best.
Yeah. That's cool, eh?
Could you imagine ScoMo staying behind
Oh,
the
hell no.
fucking fight?
Hell no.
The
Hell no.
motherfucker can't even
Hey,
operate a tack
there's
welder.
a yeah, have you seen there's a ScoMo action figure coming out?
Is
It's
there
actually
really?
called a ScoMo in action figure.
You broke me again.
It comes with a barbecue that you can cook your budding snag on.
Does he have a welding kit with him?
Hey, have you heard that Scott
Oh,
Morrison
gosh.
had to go to an optometrist? They realised that he's blind, and he's been so blind for so long that he missed 4 years of foreseeing shit going wrong.
Yeah. It's probably because of the fucking welding incident. But at least now he has a fucking excuse. No, I just want that fucking the ScoMo shit where he's like with that tack welder and he's like getting blind. On a scale of 1 to ScoMo, how blind are you getting this weekend?
So good.
So in closing, no, ScoMo wouldn't stay behind with a fucking AK.
No, he wouldn't.
But we'll give him a tack welder because he seems at least partially dangerous with that.
He'll be on maintenance crew.
And fucking give him some responsibilities that he'll forfeit.
Yeah.
Make him race director. He just ignore everything going wrong.
Yeah. I didn't foresee it coming. Social.
I was blinded by fucking science.
Sorry, I was tack welding downstairs.
I'm trying to find the photo of this.
My retina's burned, but boy, my tack welding's spot on.
Yeah, he's welded his finger to a fucking door.
He is a Sharks fan. We can't expect too much from him. Him and Paul Gallen can go tack weld each other.
Paul Gallen, the greatest boxer since
Anthony
Australia Post.
Since Anthony Mundine. Although at least Anthony Mundine won a world title.
Hey, you see Tim Zoo's brothers fighting now?
Yeah, Nikita. Nikita I can cheer for. Not a shit Nikita. A good Nikita.
What's wrong with Nikita Mazepin?
I actually feel sympathy for him for the first time because of this shit.
Oh, shut your mouth. Don't you ever say anything like that again.
No, for real. If he loses his
Okay.
fucking seat because of a war,
I want him out more than anyone ever to exist ever in the history of ever.
but not in this way.
But not in this way. This is the one way I wouldn't want it to happen. Because he's
Yeah.
going to lose his seat. Costs a lot, does nothing.
That's our ScoMo.
That's how it's going, mate.
That's our fucking ScoMo. Flannel shirt and everything. Fuck
You're
yeah.
going to have to put that photo up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's gold.
With the power to go invisible in any hour of need. Scott can run up to 20,000 kilometres in a day at the first sign of trouble.
Oh, you broke me twice this podcast.
Yeah, with 50% less uses.
Isn't it federal election year too?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, deer. It's like a horse with antlers.
Like a horse with cat.
Oh my god. Oh, I haven't laughed like this for a long time. Oh, that's the greatest thing ever.
Right, so on that bombshell, I think it's time to end the episode. If I can ever get the goddamn words out.
Oh my god.
So, we come back in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks if I don't choke to death on my own mucus. Come back in 2 weeks to do the proper pre-season testing, because this was pre-season testing. Do the
Not
proper,
secret.
Yeah, it's top secret pre-season testing
It's top secret, but we have all the photos and
that
all
we
the
knew
times.
was going to be at Barcelona on these following days.
We actually have. It's so secret that we'll tell you exactly how many laps they did. And in what
All
order.
the times? Yeah.
And all the times. And the tyres they were on.
Here's some footage.
Yeah, and here's some footage of some high definition photos.
And Sky Sports F1 crew is there at the track.
And
But
here's a
it's-
recap of the entire
Because
day.
that Louise Goodman was there doing all the voiceovers and stuff. Was it Louise Goodman or was the
I don't
other
hate
chick?
her as much as I hate Natalie Pinkham. She grinds my fucking gears. But not as much as Johnny Herbert and fucking Damon Hill.
Yeah.
No,
I
you
want
know,
to-
no, you know who's worse? I think you can guess who I think is worse. Fucking Neil Crompton.
I thought you were going to say Nico Rosberg, but I probably...
Nico Rosberg, he just shits me
Yeah,
to tears.
I can't stand
I wouldn't... No, fuck no. Johnny Herbert and Damon Hill. Love them as drivers. fucking get out from in front of the fucking cameras. I just want Ted Kravitz, fucking Martin Brundle, and fucking David Croft, and I'm happy.
And Jeremy Clarkson.
Jeremy Clarkson. Yeah, he'd be a good color commentator in the fucking paddock.
Have you seen that interview they did with him at a pub?
Yeah, how he
He
talks
said-
about what's wrong with Formula One.
What's for? Well, if Ferrari don't like it, they could fuck off. Mercedes don't like it, they could fuck off. If anyone else doesn't like it, they could all just fuck off.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah.
It's pretty well done.
But there you go. Put those three, the old Top Gear guys, as you know, on the F1 podcast, on the podcast, yeah, the F1 show.
I'm sure Johnny Herbert and Damon Hill and Nico Rosberg and Jensen Button are getting paid plenty for their.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, get fucking,
Jensen Button's at least good, and Julian Palmer's good actually. His analysis show's really good.
You know what? I really like listening to who's the Indian dude?
Kareem Chandok.
Yeah.
He's not too bad.
Yeah, but you know he actually hates Lewis Hamilton in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did he drive for?
Force India.
Yeah, he is Force India.
But Lewis Hamilton convinced him to invest money in in something, and he lost all of his money.
Yeah, fucking hell. And Lewis pulled out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that story.
And so it's very, you can tell that Karun is not a fan of him still. Whenever he's got to sit there and do a lap breakdown, just the enthusiasm gets taken out underneath him. He's
Yeah,
just really,
he gets really enthusiastic about Max Verstappen one-upping him.
yeah.
He's just like, watch Max here.
See here.
See here? Lewis is out here. What you doing, Lewis? You're way off the normal racing line, Lewis. Watch Max drive this corner to perfection.
Has anyone seen the movie Jackie Brown?
I've heard of it.
Where Robert De Niro and Bridget Fonda are in the car park trying to find where he parked the car after they've done the switch. And he's lost where the car is in the car park. And she's sitting there going, "Where's the car, Lewis? Where did you park it, Lewis? You're getting a bit old, Lewis." And eventually he just turns around and shoots her. And dumps her in the car park and walks off. And then he shoots her, turns around, and there's the car. And he's like, "See, I told you it was over there." That's what you
That's
sounded
Karun.
like there. Karun Chandok's sitting there going, "Look at what you did there, Lewis."
What you doing way out there, buddy?
Lewis?
Max is way over here where you should be.
You hit Max. Lewis?
No, but now that you've mentioned that, I'm going to look at a lot more Kareem Chandok this year. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going to be paying attention more to that. I want to see that. Lewis?
All right.
Right, so we better actually end this damn episode. So we're going to come back in about 2 weeks for the actual pre-season testing at Bahrain. Bahrain sounds like something from a Star Wars movie. Bahrain. Yes, the Death Star plans are ready. Thank you very much. So yeah, we'll have the times from testing, pre-season testing from Bahrain. We might even have a little bit of a review of Drive to Survive.
Ooh, we're going to do that this year.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cringe. I'm gonna binge the entire.
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch
It's
the
gonna
whole
be-
thing in one fucking
Yeah,
night.
true. I was going to say we're going to do episode by episode. Then I'm like,
I'm not.
hell no, we're just
No,
going to watch the
Just
whole thing.
Whole
Yeah.
thing.
I'm not a binge watcher, like really. I binge watched Squid Games because I had a broken hand for some irrelevant reason. Yeah, fucking. I think I'll watch that in one night.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
binge watched all the fucking Star Wars movies except for Solo,
Yeah, but
and then wrote movie reviews out on them.
you're a madman.
I know. Yeah, you've no idea. I binge watched fucking 15 James Bond films.
Yeah, but you enjoy that shit.
Oh my god, it's Jason Bourne.
Jack Bauer. All right, so 2 weeks pre-season testing, Bahrain. Maybe Mazepin will be on the grid. Maybe he won't. Drive to Survive. See you next time. Goodbye.